Welcome everyone to the Proven Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Church. I'm a music producer from Northeast Ohio. I began this weekly interview series to give you different perspectives from artists, producers, engineers, and other individuals in the music industry. In each episode, we touch on not only what has helped the person succeed, but we also touch on what has shaped them into the person that they are today. I hope you're able to gain some real proven knowledge from the show, and that it helps elevate you on your own journey to success as well. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 267 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Today, I welcomed an Atlanta-based hip-hop artist. His name is Mista Kleen. Mista Kleen was connected to me through Dom. Shout out to Dom, always sending me amazing artists. And Mista Kleen does a lot of cool promotional hip-hop hype songs for different boxers. And the big one that he did in recent years, this was, I think, 2024 or late 2023, was called the Jake Paul Anthem. He talked about getting connected with Jake Paul's team recently and the different opportunities that this song has created for him and kind of the goals he has to continue to work with Jake and his team moving forward and kind of just doing cross promotion. He talked about doing different cross promotion opportunities, but not just using them to improve his brand and, you know, the insights and the looks that his brand is going to get through that, but also being able to collaborate with a lot of bigger artists and athletes to help impact the community in a positive way. He talked about doing a program eventually to, you know, put down the guns and pick up the gloves, kind of a boxing initiative to help youth kind of get out of trouble, stay out of trouble, that sort of thing. So I think that's very admirable, and I think it's cool that he's not just doing this, you know, for himself, but also wanting to give back. And overall, he just talked about the importance of loving what you do, keeping it authentic and keeping it true to yourself, while avoiding negative energy around you from other people, and just, you know, kind of learning how to carry yourself in the right way as you get older. And that's something I think is very respectable and, like I said, admirable as well. So shout out to Mista Kleen for stopping by today, and I hope you guys enjoy this one as always. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so we usually have the guest kind of, you know, start off, just introduce yourself, kind of just let us know, you know, how you got into music, just kind of the basics for people that might not know you and what you do.
Okay, well, my name is Terrell, a.k.a. Mista Kleen. From Michigan originally, now reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Been rapping for a very long time. LL Cool J was the person who influenced me to pick up a microphone. So, you know, I can remember when I was young in school, I was always an A student in writing journals. Like when I write journals, I always loved to write. So even before I started rapping, I knew I had a gift to do it. So I started just playing around with poems, you know, and I got better at it. I started rapping for my neighborhood friends. Then we started battling, you know. Coming from Michigan, I tell people all the time, if you've ever seen that movie 8 Mile, that's real. You know, people really battled, and they really believed in what they did and what they spoke, and people took their craft very serious. And I'm not trying to knock nobody, but a lot of the craft and the heartfelt and the real is missing today. But to bring you up to date, I'm here now. So, you know, I've worked with a few celebrities through the years, done shows in a lot of places, opened up for a few people. And so what brings me here today is that I created my own lane called athletic hip hop. Have it trademarked. And the first athlete I wrote a jingle for was Floyd Mayweather, but I never laid it down. But the first athlete that I did a video for and wrote a jingle for was John Bones Jones. And a situation came about to where in 2014, they were going to fly me to New York to walk out with Jones. But there was a little setback due to his personal life. So that didn't fall through. But the video did 162,000 views back then. That's on my old channel.
Yeah.
And then I did one for Deontay Wilder. Then I did one for Tyron Woodley. Then I did one for Quintarius Chapel, a boxer here in Atlanta, Georgia. And now I have one that's relevant that went viral for the great Jake Paul. And a lot of people might beg to differ with me about Jake, but I've always liked it, Jake, because he's a very focused person, and he reminds me a lot of myself. When you believe in something, you just go for it. So I'm thankful that the numbers are where they are today.
Yeah.
What? So, and I'm also an author. I published my first book in 2009.
Nice.
So I'm just happy to be in the mix of, great people, and things are finally opened up the way I always wanted and desired. And I've had some opportunities, don't get me wrong, but just seemed for some reason that right connection, so maybe the man upstairs was protecting me from something, but I'm grateful to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, that's a very thorough recap, yeah. So I definitely appreciate you kind of covering all the bases, because I had definitely read up a little bit on you to kind of prepare for the interview as well. But I didn't know a lot of that, bits of information for sure. But I definitely want to kind of dive more into the athletic hip hop side of things, because I had read that in multiple articles and saw multiple interviews where you mention it. And I think it's a very good term, because I feel like hip hop especially has always been some of the best hype music, you know what I mean, for athletes in general. I feel like it's kind of funny, because I have a buddy, he does MMA fighting. And his walkout songs are like Taylor Swift and like very light stuff. And we always are like, how do you get hyped to that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't like knock what he comes out to, but I'm like, it's kind of interesting, because I always would think of like, if on the hip hop side of things, I would think of like DMX would be a great person to come out to. Like, that would get me super like fired up and ready to go.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of want to know from your perspective. Right. Like, what do you think makes a great hype song, and what do you think for you when you're crafting these different songs for the different fighters, like the Jake Paul anthem? What kind of went into the songwriting process and just the creation behind it?
Well, you're talking to the baddest jingle man on the planet, and basically, I get into their personality. When you see these fights, and that's what I'm going to do. When you watch these fights, you see these guys walk out to the song, but it's not a song for them. Yeah. It's somebody else's song. So what I specialize in, I write custom-made jingle theme songs for them. And because it's hard to write a song about somebody that makes sense, and to make you like it as well. So the process for me is getting to know the person, reading about the person, and just watching the videos, looking at the personality traits, and my process is picking out a nice, dope track. The track, I try to fit the personality of the track. I try to mesh it with their personality. Like if you hear the John Jones anthem, you can feel John Jones because it's an up north track. When you hear the Deontay Wilder anthem, you can feel Deontay because it's a southern track. Yeah. So I pretty much get the region where they're from. And me being from the Midwest, Jake Paul from the Midwest, and I'm from Michigan, he's from Cleveland, but I used to live in Cleveland for 2 years, so I kind of got some relative there. I pretty much got that Midwest vibe and stepped out on faith, man, and just went to writing, and it just came natural. So to me, it's more about feel. Yeah. It's more about feel and facts. Because I mentioned I don't know if you've seen the video yet.
Yeah, I was able to watch the Jake Paul anthem video a couple days ago, actually. Definitely love the way it looks and the way it's presented as well.
Thank you so much, man.
For sure.
Thank you so much, man.
For sure. And I can imagine that's a lot just to do that research, because I know that takes probably years to do sometimes, to really like get it down, to be like, you feel confident that you can make a song for that person. Which is, I definitely think that's very interesting. And I don't know if you've had the opportunity yet to work like one-on-one with any of these fighters or get to talk to any of them in person, but is that something that you're looking at as a goal eventually, like being able to sit down and really, have one-on-one conversations with these fighters and then eventually make, works for them?
Oh yeah, right now I just got connected to an industry guy that's going to, pretty much put this together. Nice. He got a hold of some Jake Paul people. So, with these guys, you got to go through their people. And you won't catch them at a gas station and run up on them.
Yeah.
Because there's different things in place. And so basically what I wanted to do, was be patient and get my numbers up, get the promotion up, and everything looks good. So it's a no-brainer after that. Basically, these people are talking about sponsorship and all that kind of stuff. I've already got the agreement. So once I sign the agreement and get it back to them, we're going to set a time and date. I'm talking about this is like a direct connection. There's no having to go through Steve, Harry, or Ben. It's direct connection, cousin type of thing.
Nice.
So I'm thankful for that. I know Jake is going to like it. I've read comments of people, his fans, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just excited about what's about to happen, because at the end of the day, people didn't believe in the guy. And here I am. He don't know me from Adam. I come up with this jingle for him, and it did numbers. And it's pretty much a brand. It's branding his brand, and his platform is bigger than mine. So basically, once we join forces, it's going to catapult my platform. And what I want to do is turn the boxing fights into the new concerts, right? So when you watch the fight, you're not just getting the fight, you're getting a concert as well.
Yeah. Nobody
has ever done that. So they crown me the king down here for that. If you go to my channel and look at the other jingles, I'm getting ready to shoot a video. I just did a jingle for Detroit Lions, and I'm getting ready to shoot a video for that.
Nice.
That's on my channel as well. So I pretty much stay in that flow, that element, because I'm tired of the negativity in the hip-hop thing. And what I'm going to do once I become a boxing promoter, because I've been around boxing all my life, I want to start put down the guns, pick up the gloves for troubled teens and people in all the communities, And, you got a lot of kids everywhere, they get in trouble, they think they're tough. So if I can take my platform, go talk to some of these schools and say, look, if you got troubled kids, send them my way. And it has to be a mandatory curriculum, And they're going to have to come down. They're going to have to fight. You think you're tough? Let's fight someone. And if you don't go through that curriculum, I'm mispronouncing the word, I'm sorry, you don't graduate from school. I want to put a mandate on that, and I believe that'll stop some of this violence. That'll stop a lot of these guys that think they're tough and they're really soft as cotton, because they go to the jail, the big house, are going to be crying, And it's just a sad thing. And if I could reach the youth with what I'm doing, I would be more than happy,
Yeah. And I think that gives you a way to kind of impact people on a deeper level, being able to do something like that too. Because I always feel like songs can do a lot for people, but being able to, reach back and help the community in some type of way directly is an even bigger way to leave that impact. So I think that's incredible, man. And hats off to you for having those goals, because I think that's awesome.
Thank you so much, man.
For sure. You also have a project you dropped last year, an EP, I believe, called Level Up, which had a few songs on it as well. So, what kind of led you to decide to put that project out as well while you were doing a lot of the promotion for the Jake Paul Anthem around the same time?
Just being in a zone. I put the EP out because everybody was saying, "Where's it? We want to get some new Mista Kleen music. We want to get some new music," And I was working on the album. I said, "Well, since you guys are in a hurry, let me drop something." And so I still got the Level Up album coming out.
Nice.
And so I just wanted to put something out to show people that I was still active, still moving, because you got to stay active.
Yeah.
You can't become complacent. Like I got songs right now I'm getting ready to put down. I'll be able real soon, once I connect with Jake, as Jake raps too. I want to get Jake on the remix of this song. Let him rap on the second verse. We shoot a video with him in it. And everybody who's on my team, the Jake Paul Promotions down in Atlanta, we're hyping them up, we're bigging them up. And that's going to go viral, So with the Level Up, it's just staying active. Staying active, staying prepared, staying busy, and being self-reliant.
Yeah.
Self-motivated, because it's easy to get complacent if you don't love what you're doing.
For sure.
You have to love what you do. I tell people all the time, Music is timeless. You can't put an age on music.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have a love for it, don't start it.
Yeah.
Because it's time, it's money, it's believing in yourself. If I write a song about your friend, hypothetically speaking, that does the UFC, I have to sell him I have to write and make him like what I'm saying. So basically, I'm telling the story. I got to cultivate you. I got to get you to listen to me, right? Because people's attention spans are very low.
Mm.
So if I don't come with no heat, anything that's going to grab you, you're going to be turned off. So that's why I take my time. When I hear a track, right? Whatever the track is saying is what I'm going to say. So it's like the beat is speaking through my voice. It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
So whatever that track is saying, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you listen to a lot of these artists today, right, the track is saving a lot of these guys, because if you take the track off underneath them and listen to them, you throw it out the window.
Mm.
Take the track off under Eminem, you'll still listen to him.
Mm.
Take the track off under Jay-Z or Nas, you'll still listen to him. I'm not knocking nobody, but you take the track off under Lil Pump or, Lil Yachty, would you listen to him?
I wouldn't listen to him with the track personally, but that's just my taste. But yeah, I totally see what you mean, because there is a difference too between like the storytelling and the lyricism as well. You know what I mean? And people, right, like you said, because it really is, you have to show your purpose, you have to show your why, and that matters, and that is what resonates with the listeners in general.
Right.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly, for sure. And it's just like anything else we do in life. Like if you don't have the passion for it, you're not gonna do very well at it. You know what I mean? Because there's no real reason for you to be doing it other than, maybe you have to make money or something like that. But even if you're not doing it for the love, it's like it's gonna feel like work at the end of the day. I
can listen to an artist and tell if they love what they do or they're doing it for the money.
Yeah.
I can listen to them and say, because it's different to be a rapper, an MC, and an artist. Those are three different people. Mm. An MC is master ceremony. He controls the crowd, like a Dougie Fresh. A rapper, he can rap till you put lyrics together, you know what I mean? And he can tell you a story and whatever. An artist does all that, and he paints a picture. He paints a Picasso. So they ask me what kind of rapper I am. I say I'm a universal rapper. It's God-given, because I can write a song about you, and I guarantee you it makes sense. I guarantee you people are going to like it, and I guarantee you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
And everybody can't do this. Some people can freestyle. Some people are writers. They can't freestyle. Some people battle rap. It's a lane. Some people mumbo jumbo. Mm-hmm. So I don't knock it, because it's a lane for everybody. And to bring this up, Lil Wayne's Carter 6, a lot of people didn't like the album. And I tell people all the time, right? I had no problem with the album, because Lil Wayne is one of the GOATs. When the beat selection is not what you're used to coming from an artist, I listen to it from an artist's ear. Because to be in the game 25 years and he still got skills and spit, I take my hat off to people like that.
Yeah.
He still got a nice pen game. So I'm listening to it from an artist's ear, because people can't rap about the same thing. See, a lot of the fans try to keep people in a place where what made them happy.
Nostalgia.
This guy's living a whole nother lifestyle.
Yep.
Like T.I., he can't rap about the trap all his life. Mm-hmm. He has to rap about where he's at now. Oh, he fell off. How do you fall off and you're still doing it? How do you fall off and you still sound good? To me, there's no such thing as falling off.
Yeah.
When you fall off, you're done. Or people don't even hear from you anymore. So I look at stuff from a different standpoint.
Hey there, hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick minute out to let you know about a couple different ways that you can support the podcast. One of the ways is by clicking that support the podcast button within your streaming platform. That is if you want to be a monthly supporter of the show. You can contribute either 99 cents, $5, or $10 a month. So that's the first way, and that's the more traditional way that we've had now for the last couple years. The other method that we actually just recently introduced is from our good friends over at Ko-fi. Coffee is a virtual tip jar. We have set our limit to a minimum of $10, but you can go make one-time, one-off donations. So if you visit coffee.com/the Proven Knowledge Podcast, you'll be able to donate. And all these different forms of donation go towards getting new guests every single week, getting potential sponsors on board to do giveaways, and overall just making the show better for you guys. So if you want to do that coffee link, it's ko-fi.com/the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Otherwise, again, look for that support the podcast button in your streaming platform if you'd like to be a monthly supporter. And I just want to say thank you guys for your contributions. And without further ado, let's get back into the episode. Yeah, it's more like watching these artists evolve too, and watching their lives change. A great example of that, I think, is Nas the last several years. Because
he's one guy. He's one guy I look up to. He's an influence on my life as well.
Yeah, and he's still putting out quality albums. I'd say all 6 of those projects he dropped from 2020 to 2023. Those are some of my favorites of the decade so far. For real. And it's you would never guess that guy is 50 years old, still doing this thing. He's coming in with the energy of someone that's brand new, ready to go. You know what I mean?
That's how you know a person loves it. I'm gonna tell you something. Nas was a big influence on my life as well. See, music is timeless. You can't put an age on music. So, to me, when people do that, you're telling this person they're too old to get a bag. Mm. Who are you to tell someone they're too old to get a check? You have no right to do that. Yeah. Because everybody didn't get it. Everybody wasn't fortunate like Lil Wayne or Bow Wow. Mm. Lil Wayne was 17 years old with $10 million in the bank. I don't know how that feels. He had Birdman to put money behind him. I had to get it out the mud. Eminem had to get it out the mud. A lot of people had to get it from the mud, so everybody wasn't fortunate to have people that invest into that. So I can appreciate a person's grind. I can appreciate a person, everybody's journey is different. Yep. And see me, I do, these jingles is something I do on the side. I do regular music as well. I started off doing regular music. I just did the jingles to be creative, to add on to my repertoire, my catalog of what I do. But I'm telling you, I can rap about anything. I don't just do jingles for athletes. I do them for businesses as well. I see you got the Proven Knowledge, right? I can do a song for that, and I bet you it sounds good.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Just give you some input. I don't put myself in the box. I love what I do. Yeah. Well,
that's the most important thing at the end of the day is being able to do that. Like we said, it shows that you yourself have evolved even from where you started out to now. You're continuously adding to your repertoire and continuing to improve your skills and get better and work with more people. And I think it's a beautiful thing, man. So hats off to you for that, because that's awesome.
Appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. And we're down to the last few questions here. These are ones I ask on every episode, more life-related ones. The first one is, if you could go back 10 years ago and give yourself any piece of advice, or maybe not change anything at all, what do you think you would do?
10 years ago, what I think I would do was not allow people in my life who wasn't meant to be there. A lot of times people come with baggages and dead weight, and they come with different spirits on them. So a lot of times, being a generous and kind-hearted person, you have empathy for people. And sometimes, not trying to get on religion, but this is something I learned. You have to let people go through their season and get out of God's way. And what I mean by that, we try to help people who are not trying to help themselves. So we come in trying to be the Superman or Superwoman, and now you're drained. We're trying to help this person that God was trying to teach a lesson. Mm-hmm. So now it's okay, so I feel in my heart that he's saying, okay, but since you want to be me, you take on that burden. And so that's what happened to me. I took on burdens that I should have taken on with people who are not really deserving of the time.
Yeah. What's the saying about you're too busy filling up other people's cups and then yours is empty, right?
Right.
Like that. Yeah, for sure. I definitely think we can all relate to that.
But out of that, I get songs. Anytime I have a setback or hardship, there's a song that's birthed. Like I had a situation with a young lady that I was dealing with, and I'm talking about it was very just toxic. I cut her off, but I got a song called Loyal Heart. If I never went through that, I wouldn't have the song Loyal Heart.
Yeah.
So it's like my father always told me, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And that's just where I'm at in my life.
Yeah. And it's like we said earlier about being able to take those tough times and make them into something constructive, which is a big thing. And I think that's what you mean when you say you want to give back to the youth as well. You want to give them a platform to be more constructive with that energy than be destructive. So I definitely can resonate with that. And if we say, 10 years from now, what do you think are the big goals? You obviously revealed some of your goals coming up here that you're already working on, but what do you think 10 years from now is going to look like for the brand and for everything you're doing?
Everybody's going to be coming for jingles, athletes. I'm going to be a household name out there, like everyone else. Just touching people. I'm going to have, my nonprofit back going, providing opportunities for people, because a lot of times you don't have to give people money. You put them in position to help themselves. I want to be an asset and not a liability to not just my community, to people everywhere. Team up with people with kind of like spirits and the same attitudes and minds. Because, I like what Akon is doing. And he does a lot. I like what Magic Johnson is doing. I like what Eminem is doing back home. I respect people like that. Get with those type of people and see how we can merge together and really make a difference. And really, that's all we have to do. In this world, as long as there is differences, you're going to have issues. Because you're going to have small-minded people who think inside the box. Now, the thing about life is, it's about choices. My thing is, you don't have to like a person, but every human being deserves a level of respect. A lot of people have stereotypes and stigmas due to their experience. Okay? So if what's in you radiates to the world, right? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So if you're a negative person, it's going to show. If you're a positive person, it's going to show. So at the end of the day, it's all about choices we make. We all have free will. And with my free will, I choose to not have any more karma, because I've made mistakes in the past. I don't want no bad karma. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm not trying to get over on nobody. I just want to be a blessing to who I'm led to bless. Because a lot of times, we're not led to bless this person. We just do it anyway. So, a lot of stuff comes with age. I pray for wisdom and knowledge and understanding.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect down here. I'm not perfect. I don't have a hell of heaven to put nobody in. But with my music, when you hear it, I want it to sound like I'm sucking the oxygen out of your brain, because I'm going to put my heart and soul in it. A lot of times, when you hear people's music, you can tell their personality and who they are through their music. That's why Tupac was so great, because you felt the realness. That's why Biggie was so great, because you felt the realness. And it goes on. Eminem is just the epitome. He's someone I really look up to. If you heard the Detroit Lions song I just did, I shouted him out on the end, because he's a big Detroit Lions fan like me. And I know this song's going to touch him, I'm coming with facts. I'm from 89 to up to date. And when they hear it, they're going to love it, because it's never been done. You got people that can do McDonald's, I'm loving it, but there's no detail. What's the detail? There's a song out, Lions, we going to the Super Bowl, okay. But there's no detail. There's nothing to grab you. I'm talking about Wayne Fonts, Barry Sanders. I'm breaking it down. And the older people are going to really appreciate that.
Yeah.
When you come with the real, you know what? Pimp C. I met Pimp C years ago in back home. And I was at a music conference in 2002. All the record labels was there. Master P, Black Ground Records, Aaliyah's uncle, Kurt Franklin. There was a lot of labels there. They were just giving us advice on the music business. And I met Pimp C. and we got a chance to, perform a little bit. He said, expose your soul and the real a show. That always stuck with me. You expose your soul and the real gonna show, meaning keep it real. If I've never done it, I'm not gonna speak on it. You got a lot of people that tell you they've done things and you look at their life and do the background on their lying. They're doing that for a paycheck. Like, I could tell you how it is to grow up and lack in some areas. You might not have the best clothes or shoes, and kids make fun of you. I went through that when I was in elementary. When I was coming up, kids were cruel. They didn't care. They had no filter. But it's all a part of your making and your development and where you are today. When you meet people, you're meeting them from environment. You're meeting them for what made them who they are today. Nobody wakes up an alcoholic. Nobody wakes up on drugs. It takes something to trigger that person to be who they are. What triggered you to be who you are today? What triggered you to start this podcast? Something triggered you, and that's growing to know self. And I know I know who I am. I had to grow into some things, but right now I know what my purpose is and what I'm called to do, and it's going to even get better than what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful, man. And I definitely appreciate you sharing that, because self-love is the biggest thing we can do, for real. And that's where it starts, I think, for a lot of people. Yeah. So, and rest in peace, Pimp C, by the way. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, man. And do you have any final words of wisdom today for the listeners before we get out of here?
My final words would be stay focused. There's one thing to be focused, and there's another thing to have broken focus. If your focus is broken, you cannot have tunnel vision. So my thing, and stay away from evil communication, negative people. And one thing my dad told me, my dad was a Marine, but he had a lot of sayings. He's dead and gone, but his words stick with me. He said, your attitude controls your altitude on how far you want to go in life. So it's all about putting positive in the universe. If you put positive out there, you're going to reap positive. If you put negative out there, you're going to reap negative. And I choose to put positive out.
Nice, man. And I always say that too. Like, whatever you put out, you'll get back. So yeah. That's awesome, man. And I gotta say, thank you for doing that for the people in your community, and just doing that for your fans and your supporters, man. Because that's all you can do at the end of the day. But thank you again, man, for stopping by today. I hope you had a good time, and shout out to Dom for making this happen. And we'll have to definitely do it again soon, man. But I'll be looking out for the next.
Sure, man. I appreciate you too.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening today. That was episode 267. We'll be back this time next week. As always, hit that support button on your podcast streaming platform if you'd like to send us any funds. And feel free to leave us that 5-star rating if you enjoyed today's episode. So we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.